my gosh, guys, it is getting so close. It is almost here. I'm looking at the clock. It's 3:26. It's April 24th. Guys, the AP government exam for 2024 is on May 6th. It's the final countdown. All right. You've been doing this all year. You've been doing the right thing. If you haven't, well, I don't know what to tell you, but if you're doing the right thing, you're in a good place. You just got to use this time wisely. Where are you at, right? If you're looking at this today, you have 12 days left. Maybe you're looking at it on the 4th. I sure hope you're not listening to this on the night of the 5th, because then, well, God bless you. All right. Figure out right now, how much time do you have left? And I know you may have other AP exams. I mean, let's be honest, those other exams aren't as important, right? We have state testing next week. That's a great time for state testing, right before AP exams. You may have mid-mark tests, another great time for things, right? But that's all. Those are things you can't control. What can you control? What you can do, and the time that you have between the school and sports and jobs and family. What time do you have, and what can you invest, and how can you spend it? All right. Remember what I've told you guys all year. The whole psychology is that it takes 7 times to interact with material before you really understand it. Now, ideally, you went through the notes the first time, right? We discussed things in class. Hopefully you have at least 2, if not more, things under your belt. Some things, we've mentioned Federalist 10 more than 7 times, right? But pretend you're starting from square one. Between now and test day, how can you interact with all of the material 7 times, right? And sometimes it just has to be quick. Make yourself some flashcards. Review your notes for 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be that you're studying for hours at a time. You may want to take a time or two where you do that deep dive. You should take time where you practice the test from start to finish, like all the multiple choice and all the FRQs on your own at least once. Find that chunk of time to practice and see how it goes. But other than that, you can do this in manageable pieces of time. And think, how can I do the documents 7 times? How can I do SCOTUS cases 7 times? How can I look at all my unit notes 7 times? All right, that's what you got to plan out from wherever you're at now until May 6th. All right, so let's just a quick reminder of all the things you want to know. You want to know all the docs, and actually there aren't that many required documents. There should be more if you ask me. All right, so here's just an example. All this stuff you'll see here, I just pulled this online. Like, none of this is really original. All right, so you want to know what each document is, if you can know the author, but the main point, that's the crucial part. You want to know the main point of every document. It's a bonus if you can even identify a line or two that you may want to throw in. You may be able to fit into an FRQ. If all men were angels, no government would be necessary. What doc is that? Federalist what? You tell me. All right. Here's a list of all the required documents. If for some reason you forgot what Brutus is about, anti-federalist, please make sure to go back and review. And speaking of the Constitution, I thought I had a slide in here. Make sure you know your Constitution, okay? You don't need to know it word for word. You want to know the articles, right? You want to know what all the 7 articles are. You might want to find a clever way to remind it. There's other popular ways. I try to use the words to remember it. Let every judgy relative amend poor rats, because poor rats need to be amended, and just let your judgy relatives do it, okay? You should know, obviously, some of the important clauses, too. The Commerce Clause, the Supremacy Clause, Necessary and Proper Clause, right? Know all those clauses. You should know who Santa Claus is, all right? Know your amendments. Know the 10 in the Bill of Rights. Make sure you can break down the First Amendment. Know all the freedoms of the First Amendment, but know the other ones is not. Well, I did a video on this. We have this poster. This poster here is in the back of the room. Take the time, make the flashcards, do what you want to do. All right. You need to know your required foundational documents. Now, there's a picture of Abe Lincoln there. Abe Lincoln did not have any of these foundational documents. I already mentioned the foundational documents, but I really think that they should have an Abe Lincoln foundational document, because we always talk about the Reconstruction being our second founding, our second revolution. Let's include Frederick Douglass, AP board. Let's include Abe Lincoln. Heck, let's include some of the suffragists, but let's do better, AP board. All right, that's my soapbox. Make sure you know all the SCOTUS cases, right? Once again, something I pulled online. You can find this stuff online, but hopefully you have it in your notes anyways. You want to know the background, right? That's the facts. You want to know the decision. Sometimes it helps if you know if it was like unanimous or if it was 5-4. But the key principle, you want to know the constitutional connection. Know when you look at the cases. If I say establishment clause, right, you're going to know Engel v. Vattel. If I say free exercise clause, you're going to know Wisconsin v. Yoder. If I say commerce clause, right, you're going to know U.S. v. Lopez. If I talk about incorporation, right, there's a few. Which ones consider incorporation? If I say freedom of the press, right? That one's actually sort of easy because New York Times, that would make sense, right? If I say free speech, right? We know Tinker, Des Moines. We also know Schenck, but Schenck, we also know about the clear and present danger, right? First Amendment, we also can talk about Citizens United because money with campaigning is speech. Sometimes you might want to know some laws or acts related to that, like McCain-Feingold with Citizens United, for example. Oh, Gideon Wainwright. Once again, we have incorporation, just like McDonald v. Chicago, but we also have the Fourth Amendment, the right to the attorney. We have the voting cases with Baker v. Card and Shaw v. Reno, but they're different. We want to know how they're different. Make sure you know that, right? Brown v. Board, equal protection, right? Make sure you can do that with all the cases. Okay, go back and look at your unit content. Look at this. This is one of my videos. Isn't that cute? You can go back through my videos. You can go through Khan Academy. You can go through Heimler. You can go through LaMoney. You have notes. You've taken all year. You didn't take them just for fun. All right, go back. Take, look, you're not going to look at units 1 through 5 at once, but figure in 7 different occasions you want to go through your unit 1 notes, your unit 2 notes, 3, 4, and 5. We only have 5 units. Some schools do this in half a year. All right, you can do this. Remember how to do the FRQs. All right, review how to do the FRQs. I made a video how to do the FRQs. You can find here. Other people made videos how to do it. Practice the FRQs. I released some on AP Classroom. You can find some online. I'll bring some more in. If this school has paper, I'll make some copies. Right, let's do this. Check, and I will have on Classroom, Canvas, whatever you call it as well, all the resources. You guys can look for resources. I know some people buy Heimler's or LaMoney's resources or the Kaplan book, the Princeton Review book. If you haven't bought one of those books yet, and it's 12 days, as long as you got a week, go ahead and get it. The day before, don't do it. But those are worth it, right? C-SPAN Classroom has the AP Cram for the exam. Watch those. AP Classroom is releasing reviews. Watch those. Take advantage of the resources given you. The more resources you take in, the more confident you'll be, the less you stress, right? I believe in you guys. I believe in you, even you, the person who's not in my class, but you're watching this, I believe in you too. All right. So let's do this. Let's make James Madison happy and let's get down to business. We're not defeating the Huns, but let's do it.